I'm going to call the meeting to order. It is 7:05, the Hubbardston Cultural Council on Tuesday, December 5th. This is an open, sorry, I'm going to conform to the open meeting law, so this meeting will be recorded. If you need a break, please let me know. We'll call a recess for whatever amount of time that we need and then come back. I think that's it. All right. So I guess we're going on the agenda. It's pretty much the same as last time. Approve the meeting minutes from last week.
I motion to approve the meetings from November 28th.
I'll second it.
Second.
Oh, sorry. All in favor? Yep.
Aye.
All right. Boom, done. Stuff. I have no new grant updates that I have received information on. If anybody has any other updates for pending updates, we have one on the 15th coming up here at the Senior Center.
This is Dan Cormier, right?
Yes. That's the sing and dance with the seniors and children.
Who did you say it was?
Dan Cormier.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, okay. I had Dennis on my list. That's why I was just.
Or is it Dennis or Dan?
Dennis, I believe. Yep. We'll get this right. Cormier. There we go. Dennis. Songs of Yesteryear.
Yeah.
December 15th. I've not heard back from the West African drummers yet. I'm going to do another follow-up with them before the end of the year. Let them know that they need to submit or for them to get the check.
Those are the two outstanding programs that we have.
Yes.
Like, that's all.
Okay, so everything else is cleared up? and-
Everything else has at least been submitted to
And-
the tax accountant, and when we get the monthly report in November, I suspect most of them will be cleared. So
Yeah.
some might move into December because I submitted them like last week, so I don't know if the checks got cut like before last Thursday or not, but
Yeah, I believe it's December 2nd's the deadline for that stuff, for the events and everything, as well as the paperwork. So we'll just want to, with Dennis especially, make sure we follow up with him. I've talked to him before, he's pretty easy to get a hold of, so. All right. Do you have any updates on the treasurer side?
I mean, nothing really different from last week. We have $350 of programs to be performed, which is the Dennis Cormier and the African drummers. Although apparently African drummers has been done already. So we're just waiting for invoices on that. I have $3,000 that are currently has been sent to the town accountant. We currently paid out $3,225 to date, which gives us a total amount of $6,575. So apparently we are balancing.
Sweet. All right, chair's report. Do we want to review the guidelines at all? The policies, priorities of the local cultural council. These are the ones that I passed out, I think, a couple weeks ago, both the state and our local priorities. The local priorities is going to be the important one because there's stuff in here that decides what takes priority and precedence over other items. No new change on the calendar review. The 16th was the deadline for acceptance, and we're going to shoot for the end of the year for the denials, give the responses 2 weeks per Massachusetts guidelines. And then we're in the home stretch. Next, and the reason why we're here is the grant voting.
One more thing.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, sorry.
Ma'am, did you want to do the card?
Yep.
All right, I got some get well cards for Bob. One of them says, sending positive thoughts and healing wishes. Hope you feel better soon. The other says, if caring thoughts can help, you'll be feeling much better soon. Anyone have a preference?
I like the positive thoughts one because I always say sending positive thoughts to you.
Okay.
So
Do you have his address?
I don't. I will get that from the clerk.
Okay.
Excuse me. All right.
I forgot how to write my name. Refresh my memory, please. December 16th is the deadline for acceptance notifications, and that is just boop, and it goes out electronically through the, no?
No, that's the denials,
Ah.
sorry, the rejections. That will happen by December 2nd. We usually just do it at the end of the year.
You mean
This-
January 2nd?
Yes, thank you. January 2nd. I believe that falls on a Sunday. I go back and look, actually, let me look at that real quick. It's on a weird day, so technically we want to get it in the week before, get it done, which is a Friday. So January 1st is a Monday, so technically we could meet on a Monday if we have to finish up any business on the voting part of it.
Monday, New Year's Day?
Yes.
I don't like that idea.
Nope. And that's why I think
But we could
my
make Tuesday if we had to, but I would go with it. We just try and knock.
my boss had said it'd probably be a good idea to do it on a Friday, not a Monday. So,
Yeah.
and that's the reason.
Oh, okay. Well, the Friday I might be out of town, just so you know.
Okay, so we're looking at a Thursday as a drop dead.
And Thursday would
Um,
I'm leaving, so probably the Wednesday after Christmas. So
So all rejections actually have to be out by the 2nd. So give 2 weeks, and that will push us back to the 16th for the acceptance. In the 2 years, this is my second year, but in the time that I've been here, I've not seen a response come in from any rejections. And our previous council members have said they've never also, in the 12, 13 years that they've done it, they've also have not, you know,
Thank you.
cool. So at the end of this meeting tonight, if we don't finish, I just ask that we get one more date on the calendar, that at least 3 of us can make it to wrap things up before the 2nd. Okay, so do we have any thoughts about the voting process? We talked about before just doing round robin.
Would it make sense, well, first of all, I should ask, did everyone have a chance to review?
Yes.
Because I came up with some definite ones that I didn't think made the cut, and I wonder if other people have too. So if you went down really quickly to see if anyone made notes of, no, we don't want to consider these people, maybe, or consider these grants, maybe we could go through that first
Yep.
to get rid of the low-hanging fruit, and then debate the merits.
Makes the rest of the list better. Yeah.
Yep.
Easier.
And when we get closer and tighter, I can bring up the Excel sheet and we can punch numbers in and start, you know. We're not supposed to vote on money. It's supposed to be based on the local priorities, but money does play a factor in our final list. And you'll see with some of them, we may have to do some wiggle room with the dollar amounts to make it work, as you'll see. Okay, I like your idea. So we could probably just read off the ID numbers on the grant applications and say defer we'll come back to it later. And if there's something you feel really strong about now, we can mark that off. It's not going to be a definite yes, but it'll be something to put on our radar for the next go around on the list.
Okay.
Sounds good?
First question, before we begin, how much note-taking should I take, except we took a vote for minutes?
The only notes that we need to take are going to be the final notes for any rejections. We do have to record, there's a drop-down list for each one, and there's actually,
For reasons why we rejected.
well, there's a drop-down list of very specifics, and I had, I can have it here, right here in the stack. So if for some reason we do a rejection and there is a response, we do need to explain. And if it is something that can be corrected, we need to give that information out to the individual. You know, back and forth conversation.
Okay.
That process will have to be done with simple majority as well. So we can also defer if we feel also that there's not enough information in the grant application to make a decision tonight. So that's also our prerogative as well as part of the program. So we don't have to say, you know, we defer, we can come back later for more information. If we feel, especially with 34 grants this year, there's just no way, right? We can definitely say defer on that as well. All right?
Yep.
Okay. So I guess we'll work off of this. And if we do need to do deep dive into any of them, I can pull up on the screen here the Smart Simply roster.
Right.
Sweet. All right. ID 64173. It's a Build a Flag Working Art Therapy Workshop for Veterans, Templeton Veterans.
I'd like that to proceed to the next round.
Oh, okay.
I agree with that. For sure.
68731, Songs of Yesteryear.
Proceed.
Proceed, yes. 63723, that's the 88th Regional Exhibit of Art Craft.
Hold.
Hold, I agree with that.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay. 67337, Blanket Across the Commonwealth.
Hold.
I'm going to say hold on that as well. 66093, Magical Potter's Wheel.
Proceed.
Proceed.
Proceed. All right, 67850, a Beat Generation Cultural Review of the 1950s through music.
Proceed.
Proceed.
63790, Gothic Tales by Candlelight.
Proceed.
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 Proceed, okay,
I had
that's the third.
question.
sorry.
I had a
That's right.
question mark, but that means proceed, I suppose.
Yeah, it meet all the criteria for me, so. 65650, Ed the Magician. I'm going to vote proceed on that one.
Proceed.
Yep.
70128, Julie Ballooney. I'm going to vote proceed on that.
Proceed.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. 70328, Belly Dancing Performance for the Troupe. Proceed.
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 Yep.
Okay. 70428, Fun Science Workshop. I'm going to say proceed.
Proceed.
Agree.
63578, John Appleseed Visitor Center Cultural Components.
Hold.
Old, yep. Oh, that's right. 3, okay. 60461, Music at the Templeton Farmers Market.
Hold.
Hold.
Hold?
Yep.
Yep. 59970, Henry the Juggler. I'm going to say proceed.
Proceed.
Proceed. Yeah.
All right. 67029, Enrichment Programs for Kids and Teens. I'm going to say proceed on that one.
I had a hold on that, but
Okay.
I have it for discussion,
Yeah,
I
we'll
guess.
talk about it.
So do we have a third proceed?
Sure.
I can say proceed, I'm just saying I'm
Okay,
on
okay.
board.
So
I'm
yeah,
just
just
saying-
mark it on your sheet and a star or something so that we want to do a deep dive into that. Excuse me. 68759, Health and Wellness Programs for Adults. I'm going to say proceed, but I want to
Yeah.
dive into that
Yeah,
one as
yeah.
well.
Definitely discussing it.
Yeah. 58752, I'm going to say proceed on that one. That's the Painting Seascapes inspired by Winslow Homer. That's Gregory Maychek.
I have, yes, I would proceed.
So we have a third?
Proceed.
All right. 62657, I Am.
Hold. I have
gonna
questions
say
about
hold.
that. Yeah,
Well-
I would agree with hold, so.
I'm going to say hold.
Hold.
Let's see, 64714, music and education event with David Maloof. I'm going to say proceed on that one.
Oh, I had a hold on that one.
I have a proceed, or discussion at least.
We'll talk about it.
So we have a
Yeah.
proceed, we have a third proceed.
Sure.
With a question mark, star, we'll definitely go into that one. All right, 62134, Western African Drummer Workshop with Jafar Mansell.
Proceed with discussion needed.
Proceed, discussion needed. All right, fantastic. 65607, that's the crop dusters. I'm going to say proceed on that one.
Yep, I had a question based on the wording of it.
So deep dive.
Deep dive.
All right. 60888, Children's Parade, Ladies Ox, Florence Purvier.
Proceed.
Proceed. 69617, Appleseed Country Fair.
Hold.
I have a hold.
Hold.
Hold. All right. We have 3 holds. All right. 71752, Harmony Through Generations, Kelly Shepard.
Hold.
Proceed.
Hold.
I have a proceed. I have a discussion. Is that
Yes.
at least?
We'll
All
talk
right.
about
So
it.
how about you, Joe?
Dang it, why did you do that to me?
Well, don't be
I
last.
gotta jump in first.
Yeah, you should have said
You
something
just
first.
agree without me? Proceed with questions, I
Yep.
guess.
60633, Afternoon with Brass number 3, Patrick Smith.
Hold.
Hold.
Hold. Yeah. Excuse me. 64681, Summer Concert Series. Proceed.
I proceed.
Proceed.
3, 4. All right.
Yes, proceed with some talk about the amount.
Yeah, so deep dive on that one. I did see that as well. 66394. That's, I cannot pronounce it, but I'm going to say Mike Spencer.
Off Brauhaus.
Proceed.
Hold.
I have a proceed for discussion.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, you did it to me again.
Come on, man.
Questions.
So
Well,
proceed
questions
or
abound.
not? You're the breaker.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, proceed on that one, but
All
let's
right.
I
talk.
thought you were my friend, man.
All right. The next few are
I
holds,
didn't
okay?
bring the
next
boxing
few are
gloves
holds.
tonight.
We're not boxing.
You know the old expression throwdown, right?
She did kick me under the table, which is really hard for me
Yeah,
to
I got a long
Way
leg.
over there. 64109, Uniquely Quabbin Magazine. I'm
25 times.
going to say proceed on that one.
I have a
I
proceed.
have.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about it.
I have. This is what it is. If you guys have not seen it.
Yep.
2 issues. So, proceed. You were hold or proceed?
I had questions about it, so
Proceed.
proceed.
All right. We have a third.
I proceeded.
All right.
Proceed.
With questions. All right. 60539. Reading is Magic with Ed the Wizard. Proceed.
I have a proceed.
Proceed.
All right.
Proceed, yeah.
69571. Winchendon Music Festival. I'm gonna say hold on that one.
Hold.
I have a hold.
Let's see here. 56741. Winchendon's Windenshire Renaissance Fair. I'm gonna say hold on that one.
I have a hold as well.
57252. The Little Merman WCP. Hold.
Hold.
I have a hold.
62465. Winchendon Wins Summer Concert Series. I'm gonna say hold on that.
Hold.
I have a proceed because, we can discuss it, but I have a
Okay.
proceed.
What do you say, Joe? You want to proceed?
Which one of these Winchendon ones was the one where we were sponsoring
It's that one. There's the
several people
It's
from town?
the
This
$100 one,
correct?
but we want to do a deep dive on that one because I didn't see the language.
It said the
this-
principal bassoonist was from Hubbardston.
I'm sorry.
The principal bassoonist was from Hubbardston.
Yes, but so the previous application they put this is to sponsor the 3 individuals, and I didn't see it this year in the language. So, but we could talk about it.
Okay.
So proceed with the
I'll
deep
say
dive.
proceed with deep dive.
Yep.
Yeah.
62642 Oakland Stroke Concert Dance.
Hold.
Hold.
I have it's worth a discussion.
Yeah.
I was going to proceed. How about you?
I would say with a discussion, yes.
Discussion. All right.
Just because of the dollar amount.
Can we Can you then take out everything we said hold on so we
Yep,
can see
I'm
what
gonna
the
go back and,
what the balance is?
We need to get some more money in this budget.
Yeah, like $24,000.
all right, so, you want to plug these in that we said proceed, or?
Yeah, I
or
mean,
just the ones that hold?
I would just be curious to see. Well, I mean, I'm assuming proceed doesn't mean we're funding all of it.
No, it
Is
means
my-
we're
talking more
gonna
about
talk
it. But
more
I
about
would
it.
I would like to see the ones we've taken out, so we have a picture of how much money is left that's been requested.
Have we taken those out, or are we explaining why we're taking those out?
We can if you want. I mean,
Well,
we
we do
did
have
have
to
simple
explain
majority
why,
to
right?
Yeah, we
hold
can't
them.
just say, no, 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 we have to say why.
Oh, that's right, that's
We
right.
need to explain why
Yep.
so that
Okay,
it can
so we'll
be
go back.
recorded.
Do we want to do that now, or do we?
It wouldn't hurt to do it now. Oops. I wish I could find that, but there's only one or two categories that really, the description is actually better, because when we're going to have to, if they do respond, we're going to have to know why, right? All right, so the first one we had proceed, so the third one,
Songs of Yesteryear, we said proceed on, right?
so the 88th was the first hold we had. I said hold because of location and impact to Hubbardson.
I agree
And
with
not
that.
that I disagree. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
No, I
It was just-
definitely
it was the
agree.
fact
I mean, it
Yeah.
being in Hubbardston, I think, needs to be a
That,
priority.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the thing that, in my notes were, it costs money to mount the exhibition that people have to pay to view anyway.
Right. And do we know how much of the exhibition is actually Hubbardston related?
We do not.
We can do a deep dive into the grant if you want to know that. I can pull that up. But since, we've already agreed on at least two reasons.
Yeah, no, I-
Admission was the other one, correct?
Yes.
Admission fee on top of.
Should I be noting this too?
No, if you want, I could do that here. Yeah, so on your sheet, this is why I actually printed extra ones out if you want a fresh copy to start again. And, because like mine's pretty full here.
Well, I meant for the purposes of meeting minutes.
It does not have to get recorded. The final
okay.
vote is what needs to get recorded,
Okay,
which is why we have the notes here on the side.
so we need to vote on it rather than just say that we're rejecting it.
Well,
right?
the final vote can be the acceptance letter, and by default, everything else can fall off.
Okay.
That makes sense. We just need to be ready for a response to their request of rejection.
Got
That
it.
makes sense.
Yep.
This way we don't have to revisit the whole thing again and collect all the information again. All right, so the next hold was the blanket. I like the idea personally. There were 2 points that I had problems with. One, it was not clearly defined what the parameters were. She's asking for $1,000, but that budget was not clearly defined as what that's going to be going towards. And then also, she said it may be one venue, maybe many. She had not figured that out yet. If it was going to be a crowd funding event type thing, or is it going to be individual to Hubbardson? If that makes sense.
Well, I noted that it looks like it's up to the towns to install the pieces without any supervision by the artist, and the town is responsible for removing it when it's done.
So technically, we do not have to be responsible for that. It's up to them, and they can seek us for help.
That's not what it said in her grant.
Okay.
And she didn't say that she is installing it, she is removing it.
Okay. So there's a few things going on then. Okay. So installation is on us. Scope of event, undefined. Event or events, right? And then I had fund source, crowdfunding was the other question. Any other comments?
Isn't it hard to type when people are watching you do it?
Well, like I said before, when we do the responses, or the response to their requests, we'll have to meet again anyways to, draft a response to it. So it's not,
Right.
this is not a, this technically does not have to be public record right now until we're done. Even though we're on camera.
All right, Hubbardston Field Day.
Sorry, so we're all set with that number there, the blankets. The next one, way down, the Johnny APC Visitor Center Council. That is right here. I said hold for that because it was initially advertised as a help us fund to set this up. And this is not the first time they've asked for this money. So the other thing is geolocation. It's not going to directly impact Hubbardson unless you're passing down Route 2.
I just said the proposal was not developed. It was pretty vague.
I'm sorry?
So the proposal wasn't developed. It was pretty vague. And it wasn't
Okay,
in
so vague.
Hubbardston.
It says unclear how they select local artisans.
Unclear on artisans. Not directly impacting Hubbardson. How about you, Joe? Anything?
No, I think that covers pretty much anything I just came up with by reading this.
Next one down, Templeton Farms. Comments for that?
It just had that it wasn't local.
Yeah, it's in
Not
Templeton.
local. Okay. Any other comments? All right. The I am towards the bottom. So this was a motivational type event where you sit in an audience and and you listen. For me, it was not clearly defined if it was going to be Hubbardston or it's going to be outside of Hubbardston, and it sounded like he wanted to do it at the Quabbin Auditorium or some sort of central location. And I would agree with him. You're going to want a bigger venue to have more people attend. It wouldn't be appropriate for like a library or senior center.
Yeah, my note was that Hubbardston does not have a suitable venue or population to support it.
And if you go outside of Hubbardston, well, no, I'm going to retract that. I'm not going to say that. So no suitable venue in Hubbardston, right? So geolocation. Anything else? Neat idea, though.
No, it's great. If he were applying for a Quabbin grant, it would be wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Quabbin Auditorium, pack them in, and
But it actually says 18 plus, so it wouldn't be good for the high school
Yeah.
students.
and even you have to go to Monty. So there's Quabbin High School, there's Monty Tech. You can look at all the venues around where he could host. You could do it on the field during the summertime, but yeah. Excuse me. All right. Appleseed Country Fair.
I had it listed as not local, and then there was a parking fee of $15 donated to Apple Fire, good cause, but I was tended to not be as supportive of things that had fees to
Yeah.
attend.
So there's nothing to say that they can't
I
require
understand,
fees, but
yeah.
I personally am in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
I would, if you're going to get public money to fund something like that, you may want to, make it
Yep.
free or make it as
It
accessible as
just falls
possible
lower on the
financially.
scale for me.
Right,
Like,
Mine-
you know,
right.
My note was, seems cool, but Red Apple Farm stands to make a bundle on food, beverage, and farm sales.
So vendor driven.
Yes. I'm glad there's a nice succinct way of saying that.
We actually went there this year, and it was actually a really neat venue that they have set up.
Oh, absolutely, but it doesn't seem like something that would require public funding to operate.
Nope. Well, the parking's free. No, it's not free,
no,
is
it's
it?
$15 to park.
So this year was free.
Okay.
We rolled up, we parked, we got out, and went to all the tents. There's the, if you look at it, it's just behind the, there's that goat pen in the middle of the field there. It's right behind that. All right, so the next one, afternoon brass.
And I had it was at Mechanics Hall in Worcester,
And Boston.
and had an admission cost of $55 to $75.
Yeah, no.
Location, Worcester, and then admin fee, admittance. I can spell it.
Well, it's a general public $55 to $75, but they were offering $5 admission for Hub residents.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if there was any mention of how they would administer that.
Did you want to deep dive it, or were you set on the whole?
No, the whole Boston and Mechanics Hall thing.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree that kind of turned me
Far
off.
away.
The location.
Yeah, the distance is the biggest thing there, then the cost, and then
Yeah.
how do they monitor who is and isn't from towns that
Yeah.
provided funding? So
A lot of people that don't like to drive into Worcester. So
When?
hey, I remember when Kelly Square was Kelly Square. So
That's some old school nerves to get through there.
just keep looking forward. Don't look. Don't make eye contact.
Don't make eye contact.
Sorry, just see it on the camera.
Don't drive like that, kids. That's wrong.
All right. I can get the number of
if you
this one.
do install a push bar.
Shh. Gosh.
69571. This one here, the Winchendon's Wyndonshire Renaissance Fair.
Oh, did we put a hold on Mike Spencer, or was that a discussion?
That was a pass with a discussion.
Oh, okay,
Proceed
okay.
with the discussion.
Sorry. So,
A lot of the discussions I gonna make an assumption may convert over to a hold, correct, depending on what we find out.
all right.
All right, so Winchendon's Renaissance Fair. I love the idea. I love that there's something local coming our way. And I don't have to go to King Richard's. I was told, actually verbally, from them directly from another venue, that they're going to have 2 big tents for this year's, 2024's venue.
So you just hopped over to 741? 56741?
57. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we put a hold on 69571.
65.
It's the one right above it.
The Winchendon Music Festival.
Yeah, it just says 2024. It's that one right. Go up to. It's
This
that one right
I'm
there.
so
Yeah.
sorry.
That's okay.
Scratch that from the record, whoever's listening. I should have put the row numbers on this file
Oh, well.
next time. So this is, yes, so the Winchendon Music Festival, we have a hold. I've put in a hold because of location.
Yes.
Yes. I also wonder if it would compete with our local concert series. Because that was, I think, supposed to happen. I think this one was projected to happen in, I think, in August.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
So if whether it would compete with the Hubbardston Town Concert Series. Because I think the Winchendon one was in August, and I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, we want them to come here.
And I thought $2,500 was a lot for a non-local program.
Yeah, and it's just, we can do detail if you want, but there's some other details about it that, the dollar amount didn't match up with what some of the other applications can offer. All right, the next one is the Renaissance Fair. Okay, now we go. So I love this one, but it's not local to Hubbardston.
And it's $20 per person.
$3 per person?
20.
20, okay. But you will probably see me there next year
Oh, yeah.
when they go. So the next one, Little Merman, WCP 252. That was location for me as well, not local. Any other comments?
Same reason it's in Winchendon.
All right. So that concludes.
The definite
What about
holds.
Winchendon Winds? Was that a discussion? Yeah, that was a discussion.
That was a discussion
Okay.
with a star, yeah.
That was the one that potentially had our
The soonest.
Hubbardston, yeah, participants.
So we want to do round robin again, go through the discussion ones now, correct?
Yes.
Is that
So
like a
by
plan?
saying no to those, we took out $8,175 out of.
Do you want me to put the dollar amounts in and look at the total at the bottom, or?
I just think it's helpful to know how much, like if it was,
I can do that if you want. I can put in the awards and then we can subtract them out.
because we have 23,000 that was requested. We've knocked out 8,000, so we're now down to 15,000. I mean, it just might help us think through.
So I can, if you want, I take a minute and plug these in, or and then wipe them out as we go down, or
I don't know, maybe it's not helpful for other people. For me, it's just helpful to know what we've eliminated from the costs.
yeah.
But
What did you say that we eliminated? What was the number now?
$8,125, I believe is what I just said. I wiped out my calculator by mistake.
Probably do the numbers next after the next round, right? Okay, because we still got a ways to go.
Yeah.
All right.
15,018.
All right, so back around to the top again.
Okay. What is our first hold?
It was
Well,
8175.
there's two proceeds, but our first discussion is the enrichment programs for kids and teens, 67029.
670.
I have the same notes for both of the listening applications. Can we bundle them together, or does each one need to be addressed separately?
Separately.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing that I noticed is that people need to pay for these classes.
Yep. I noted that's yeah. They're located in Barry, and then
Yep.
for the enrichment for programs for kids is $12 a class, which again, just going back to
I'm gonna find there we go. So we're saying hold potentially then because of a fee involved, or?
Because of the fee.
Okay.
for me, yeah.
Do we have a third notion on this? I will say yes to that as well. You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So that becomes a hold.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is the one below it. That's the same
Same thing
venue
for adults, right?
for the adult side.
Yep. And the same objection is that you have to pay to attend.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and the cost is even higher for the adult one, right?
Right.
Yeah. Same. Mr. Chairman.
Well, it isn't higher. It says
It's
the
5 to 10
yeah,
as
class
opposed to
fees
12.
vary.
Oh, okay.
But on principle, the fact that they're charging a fee, is that going to sway us from holding it? 'Cause
For me, based on other things we have proposed here,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yes, for me
see,
that would yes, I would almost
As for both of these, it seems like we're paying salaries in order for them to
Yep.
collect money
I will second that as well. So that's 3 holds for this one.
Great. Yeah, I agree with that as well.
And so 4, all right. Mr.
Um,
Maloof, yes, I'm sorry?
Yeah, just out of curiosity, maybe I missed this or I'm out of order, but did we skip the Johnny Appleseed?
That was a hold.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. I'm sorry. Take better notes, Joe.
Yeah, well, that's why I have the simpler version.
Take better notes, Joe. Okay. Anyway,
You
moving
want a
on.
new one, or?
No. Oh, I got one here. I'm not using
Sorry.
it apparently.
All right, so 64714, David Maloof, we have a proceed, but with a question on that. Let me get on to the... All right. What are our comments on this one? You want me to pull up the grant, or?
I wrote some notes. I'm concerned that he doesn't have a venue, but he, quote, will secure one within 1 week of receiving the grant.
Yeah, my note said
That's
he
assuming
did,
there is one to lock down within 1 week.
Well, that's the thing, is that with so few venues and so many people vying for them, you need to know where you're going to be before you can,
That is actually one of the local priorities.
yep.
So I will second that.
I like the idea because I've had a variety of programs that I thought would be interesting for kids.
Yeah, and
I mean, I
he's-
had the note that there's no venue, and I definitely noted that. But I was also kind of like, well, it seems like there's interesting programs that could be, and it's something. Have we had him here?
Yes,
before?
he is
Yeah.
a repeat
He's a repeat,
applicant.
okay.
I got to go back. Actually, let's see if he was on last year's.
I don't think he was
Otherwise,
on-
I'll have to pull up the previous year's binder if you want to find out. Because so the problem with the Massachusetts Smart Simply is when we convert over to the next year, they wipe the previous year's run books off the portal. So we can't go back and see. Right. I don't know if that's intentional or
What
not.
was he called
but-
again?
I'm sorry?
What was his name again?
David Maloof?
How do you spell last name?
Maloof.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was on last year. No, we had voted no for him last year.
Yeah, he was in. I'm looking back at a HCC grant history. Does it say what year he was? It's a spring, summer, or fall of 2020.
Yep.
So it looks like we had him in 2020.
Yeah. So one of our qualifying priorities on our local council is if they're a repeat applicant and we like them and we want them to come back again, that's a reason to say yes.
But we haven't
Where
had
do
it back
we-
since 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, is that evidence of track record and dedication of the applicant?
Yes.
Ah,
Unfortunately, I haven't compiled previous years for all of these
I
that
think
have returned.
I'm
but-
actually looking at a file in the HCC folder
Oh,
that
there is
says
one?
HCC grant history, and it looks like it goes back to 2020 or 2019. I have LCC funding history that goes back
Okay.
to
So he was in there
20
for 2 years.
a long time. I don't know if they've been funded or not, but there's some file I'm looking at right now, and he's in it, and his latest version was 2020.
Okay. Did we want to deep dive it and pull it up?
Just one more question on it.
Yep.
Is anyone else concerned about the council or venue chooses the event? He's got a list of 6 or 7 things that we pick. Is that a positive or a negative in
big
people's minds?
negative.
It could be positive or negative depending on the venue versus the activity.
And whereas he doesn't have a venue specified yet,
So
that
we
causes
could
concern.
correct. We could choose the activity from the list and then let him decide where the venue would be. Typically,
Assuming that venue is available at that point.
correct.
Yeah, that's a flag for me.
So last year when I sent out the acceptance letters, I included in there Katie Young's information for both, and well as the Lions Club for venues for activities that were appropriate for, say, a field day or a Harbison day.
Yep.
You know, you're not gonna put a singing lesson venue you know, in the middle of field day next to, you know, one of the gazebo, right?
Right.
You know,
Where you get the band playing and everything.
with the band playing
right,
next to it.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. So,
I like everything about his application except for the fact he doesn't have a place to be.
But we funded people in the past without a place to be.
correct.
Right.
Yeah, I think, for instance, Cormier on the 15th, he did not have a venue until the fall. I heard through Mr. Bill Shea he forwarded me the message from Dennis. So yes, we can say, you know, we don't care, we really like this, you know, we want you to make it work.
I'm willing to give this guy more discussion.
Yeah, I'm not ready to
Okay.
hold him yet.
Do we have a third on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take that off for now. That was Maloof down here. Okay, so question mark. More discussion. Move on to the next one?
Yeah,
Yep.
West African Drumming Workshop.
Okay. 62134. I can count. All right, good news the old way. My apologies, it's the end of the day. All right, more discussion on this. What are our comments?
For the West African drumming.
Yes.
It sounds cool, but the problem I have with it is that it's age 14 and up, but it's being held in a public building.
Yep, so that's why we have on here those columns across the top for the different cohorts of ages. Kids, adults, families, seniors.
Right, so if it were being held at the senior center, then I think that you could exclude people by age, but a public performance excluding the kids, it seems like it would be hard to enforce.
Right.
Correct, and you would have to advertise the age requirement, which I think at that point you're discriminating, correct? Because that's a big no-no. You're not supposed to discriminate on activity based on criteria, correct?
And just,
Or am I got that wrong?
I don't know the answer to that for sure. I'm just
So-
wondering, like, other programs have been, like, adult programs held at the library. Like the
Correct.
painting, like Greg Maycheck, I imagine there's an
Well-
age limit on that.
I will say that Emerson attended his last one, and she was 10 at the time.
You rule breaker.
All right, exactly. So this is where that gray line happens, right?
Yeah, because
And this is why, so for this one, this is why I checked off all of them for the different cohorts, including children, because technically 14, you're still a minor, you're still a child. It may not be a young child, but still a child. So I can maybe not consider that as one of the categories. But other than that, it reached all of the other categories, you know. Adults, families, seniors, you know, I could bring my family there, and we could participate as a family, right?
I
not
guess
to this one.
my only question would be, what about his performance makes it only appropriate for people over the age of 14?
And we could defer this and we can meet again and get a response from him if we want to. Right? So there's nothing saying that we can't break tonight and then come back on another meeting and then make the final with more information, right?
Yeah, the only thing I can guess is that because he's distributing instruments to the audience, he doesn't want them to be destroyed by overzealous young
4 and 5 years.
musicians.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm reading the letter that Chris wrote just right now, and she says she's writing this in support of the workshop for adults, ages 14 and up. So she said so she's making it sound like it's more geared towards like an adult program, but
Yes.
we're moving it back to
But let's allow
teens.
some.
Yeah.
So
And
you have an
also
endorsement by a town employee,
Yep.
but that town employee has also cited age requirement. Correct.
Yeah, she notes that it is for ages 14 and up.
Yeah, she says 14 and up, but then she also says it's a workshop for adults. So it sounds like she's just moved up far back a little bit.
Yep,
And we can come back to this if you want as well to see where we land with everything else.
yeah.
Yeah. I would.
Because
advocate
this
for
is
that.
another tough one. I personally have not attended, and this is a repeat applicant as well. I've not attended any of the past
Yeah, I was
ones.
going to ask if you had attended any of them.
I
'cause you
I
said
wanted
Emerson
to,
went, but
I
wasn't
I
sure
looked
if
at the clock one day, like, and then my calendar, like, oh crap, I missed it by an hour, you know. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
walk in there halfway through the venue. Meanwhile, my child's doing, you know, homework and everything, so it's like, yeah, we're not in a good spot for that.
Yep, yep.
That'd be cool though. So we'll do the crop dusters. This traditionally is done with the Lions Club's field day.
Well, I love the family and I love the band. However, the wording of the grant says that the money's going to be used to buy equipment, which they will be using for other shows. And it's not to fund a performance.
I need a big monitor.
I need a monitor.
There it is. I'm sorry, go ahead, say it again one more time, Laura.
Much as I love the family and the music, it looks like they're asking for money to buy equipment and not to pay musicians.
Do you want me to pull that up on the screen?
Well, it says cash expenses using sound equipment, equipment purchase.
Okay.
It says specifically that's, but, wait a minute.
It
It
says
says that their project budget is $500 to buy equipment, but they're asking for $800.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm gonna open that up. I need to
so
see
it
it,
says
sorry.
provide a complete sound system, including double the amount of speakers in order to allow everybody to hear the music.
Yeah, I need to look at this, sorry.
Yeah, because it's weird, because in,
Amount requested $800.
So 800 requested, but their budget only includes 500.
Yeah,
And
'cause-
the budget should include everything, right?
well, the budget states equipment purchase.
Yep.
And then further down, it says provide a complete sound system, including double the amount of speakers. So it's not clear if providing the sound system is renting or purchasing it. But either way, it doesn't seem like a good use of the funds to help a band buy sound equipment.
So the summarization does not say anything about them performing.
Yeah, it seems like they are alluding to performances that they could do or that they have done. But there's no specific, this is money to buy the equipment. Whoops, no, I'm sorry. It says, when will the project take place? September 14th at the rec field, so that's field day.
Yeah, they
Okay.
said they were doing drawing field day festivities.
I mean, typically you roll your costs into your service, right? Your supplies, you don't typically, you know, at least in businesses that I've seen, you know, small businesses, you don't typically, you indirectly pass on to the customer. You don't outright say, you know.
But then again, we're not the customers, we're the grant givers.
Right.
But we represent the customers.
I mean, if we knew if it was rental versus purchasing, would that make a difference?
No, I'll walk that back, as the politicos say, because it says equipment purchase very clearly here.
Okay.
Do we know if at past field days that the sound was not adequate? Because they said they want to double the amount of speakers in order to allow all the community members to hear the music on all ends of the field. Like, has there been an issue in the past of them not being able, of the music not being heard?
No, but as a spectator being on field day and hearing them, depending where you are around that gazebo, you know, I could definitely see having another set of speakers up there. But yes, to your point, is not, at a major impact, you know. Also keep in mind, I'm gonna throw this out here, they are repeat application, applicants that we have approved in the past as well. Kind of the counter to the no.
And they're being supported by the Lions Club.
They're being supported by the Lions Club. They return grantee. I would make a notion to say pass on this, and down the road when we start going back and looking close to our target,
So by pass, you mean maybe?
So maybe
I'm going
more
to say
than a pass.
proceed.
With deep
But
dive.
on the lower end, in case we need to make some tough decisions.
So I
Well,
could
do we
proceed.
have any kind of provisions for inaccurate applications?
Yes,
Because,
yes. There's actually
Are you thinking the discrepancy between the budget and the requested amount?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes. So ambiguity. I'm trying to find out where that is. It's either in here or it's on the state. I think it's just the criteria. But yes, there's at least in one place between the LCC and the MCC where either it's missing information. You have the option of saying nope, we don't want. We're going to defer this. Pass on it, right? Exactly.
I would hate to bounce it on a technicality like that, though.
True.
And
They
that's
are
why I
enjoyed by-
countered yours,
Yeah.
because they're a repeat person. It's not
Okay.
something I would take lightly.
I mean, I would support proceeding with a question mark.
Very
Okay.
good. Yep.
So proceed
Same.
with a question mark then. Where are you? Come on, up at the top.
Who's next?
Next one down is
Oh,
Harmony
Ross.
Through Generations. Kelly Shepard, 71752.
Ah. So, my notes on this was that the senior center is too small of a venue, it's better suited to the rec field, and the very fine young musicians don't get paid. Looks like the money goes toward the director's
Salary?
salary, the time that they spend for that particular event. But it doesn't look like the musicians are getting compensated.
Not directly.
Not by the grant.
Yep. Yeah, I had a proceed with one for local impact and across the board for cohorts. So, you want me to pull that up? We can look at the details some more if you don't mind.
Yes.
Let's see if this works. Yes. They must have fixed that. All right, so the overview.
So if I understand this correctly, where we're sitting right now would be where this takes place?
No, I must have been messed up when I wrote these notes because
No, they did say. They
Oh,
said,
no, it is rec
They
field.
said
Okay,
rec
sorry.
field
It
or the
says-
senior center.
My
we
bad,
will
I misread
coordinate
that.
with the senior center to perform and with the town to perform at the rec field.
So 2 performances.
Hard to say.
I would have interpreted that as an or, but
1.
I mean, I think I assumed it was one, but the and does suggest two.
This is on the overview, correct?
Project information. Where will the project take place?
Yep. We're coordinating with the senior center to perform and with the town to perform at the rec field. I see 2 performances there.
That to me sounds like 2 performances.
So they're hitting 2 cohorts for 1 application.
Estimated number of people served, 75.
Yeah, but you get a lot more than 75 on the rec field.
And 75 would be tight here.
So, well, here's okay. So I'm reading down under projected income.
Yep.
It says
Projected,
once a venue's decided on, we need to figure out power, blah, blah, blah. Other than that, we cover setup. We would prefer to perform at the senior center if possible, because then we would be serving the oldest and youngest all in one.
so that implies one performance.
I'm
Okay.
thinking it's a one performance and
Yeah.
it was meant to be an or as opposed to an and.
I don't know if you can fit legally in here 75 people.
That's an interesting point too, because right there on the screen it says, "Does this project serve school children pre-K to 12?" And it specifically says no. So doesn't that contradict?
Well, their preference is here. So with
Right,
the
but it
seniors.
said here because they would be able to serve young and old at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
But that's basically saying they're not serving young. It's adults.
Yeah, it says
Unless
target-
I'm looking deeper into it than I should be,
Yeah.
but that's what it sounds like to me.
They said their target audience is seniors, youth, and families.
This is Kelly Shepard.
I mean, that could technically be a mistake in that school children field.
That's a good question because we have another one on the 15th of this month that's going to hold it right here, and his venue is seniors and children. And his mantra is to get them together into the same room.
Yeah, whereas this application is contradictory.
Yep.
Yeah, it's also saying setting up, packing, unpacking. So setup and breakdown is 2 hours for the show. So that is definitely not suitable for this place.
Nothing on that. Oh, look at that. Yep. So there are 5 artists. Oh, that's going to be a type squeeze.
No, there aren't 5 artists, there are 5 directors.
5 directors. Okay.
Yes, and the artists are the, quote, fine young musicians whose parents drive them around.
That can't happen here. I don't see that.
I mean, is this something where we could coordinate with Katie and she could kind of build it into the summer concert series?
Yes. So we can award this grant application and then send her Katie's way, and so this is where the little gets a little fuzzy here because she also has an application for the summer concert series.
Right.
So you can take that in consideration
That's
as well.
what I was. I mean, that could be
Yeah.
one of the concerts in the series. So she could have an extra concert that's not coming out of her
Correct.
proposed budget. Is
Yeah.
coming out of this
So
budget.
if we feel that his application needs to be deferred, below others, and he doesn't make the cut for the budget, we can always throw him Katie's way if she wins on her application, partial or not, right? We actually did that with Greg Maycheck last year. We paid him half the amount because we also had a budget constraint last year as well. We had, I think, 24 applications, which was really tight for us. We knew that the library would be able to help make the difference on that.
Yeah.
If not, Greg would then make a response back, and then we would have that discussion. Then probably change the dollar amount. But yeah,
My biggest disagreement with this particular grant is that $50 is for expenses of supplies and materials, of sheet music and flyers. I can see that. The rest of them, the directors are paying themselves salaries and gasoline
Okay.
money.
so I'm actually going to second you on that point with the line items on the budget.
Are we saying switch this to hold then?
So it's just the hold, correct?
Yeah.
And then
I'll agree with that.
And then if another application who needs venues, we can have them reach out.
Is it a hold or is it like a? I guess I'm.
I'm going to say
Because I feel
hold
like
for
we're
now.
still like in the maybe. Because hold means no, right?
Well,
That's
That's how
we've
I've
been
been
using it.
interpreting it.
I don't like saying no unless there's something blatantly right, blatantly wrong. And to your point with these budget items, is that a definite no because it appears that they're, right?
Yeah, the only thing I would say, and I agree, I hate to see people not being paid for work that they do. The only thing I would say is that
Okay.
our students or these children losing the opportunity to perform because they don't have people who can direct them.
Now you're tugging at the heartstrings.
So I mean, is it like one of those things where
Well,
they
that
need to have a salary
correct.
in order, and if not, these kids don't have a chance to perform.
And that argument means
So-
more information. We have to go back and ask for more information. Right, we want to find out, despite what we have in the budget here, what's happening with the money, where's it going, where's it being spent? Because to your point, lawyer, there's a conflict potentially here with the way the money is being spent on the budget. Correct? I interpret it as these are artists, they happen to be directors, or they're going to be in the room
Yeah.
here, right, or on the field. They're not only performers, they're also directors, right? And like a 1-2 punch, right?
Well, Connie does make a good point, is that it's not fair to work for free, but there are a lot of directors involved. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 directors, and then their gas money.
So the argument is this a hold or is this a no?
I mean, 600 of the $700 is just going towards the directors and gas.
Right. Am I clear on that? Do you guys agree with me on that argument? Hold versus no? Or do we want to
Yes.
still consider proceed on this? I feel the same way with you guys on this budget. There's a lot of, there's some things on here that don't make sense. And we would need more information, I think, to make sense of it.
So the question is rejection or further discussion?
I think this is where I'm getting confused on your vocabulary.
Sorry?
'Cause I think I'm getting confused on your vocabulary because
So-
my hold was a no.
Yeah, I've been
So-
writing no wherever you write hold.
Well,
I've been
So,
saying
and
no.
then when you're saying no, I think you're meaning.
I'm gonna
something
define
else,
this again for the group here. So a hold does not mean a no. A hold means we're gonna push it back on the list, and if there's wriggle room towards the end, to fill in with the budget, we can pull it back in. A no means no. It is disqualified because of some priority, whether it be local or through the state.
I would put a hold on it then, if that's what we're saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
hold.
there's a so hold's not saying no. It just means we're going to push this back for now, and if there's room later, we come back to it. The reality is, it's going to be a very tough fight to get it back into the pool because of 34 applications with only $600. All right, so we'll hold on that one.
Right.
Yes,
All right.
That was 71752, right?
yes.
Yep.
Oh, jeez, where was that? This is Kelly Shepherd 71752. All right, sorry about that. Summer concert series 64681. Let me get back to the Excel sheet here. I agree with you on your other comment before. We can put that in now and then talk about that and anything else right here. So you made the comment before, correct, about the increase in price, or the price, correct? Or somebody did in the group here.
I don't know if I made it, but my note was it's almost half our budget.
Correct, and that was the argument last year. So what I'll say to the group, and this is part of our local, our LCC priorities and policies, is we can discuss previous and rate, based on that. So we said last year we would give them half. She would do 2 performances. It's like a try before you buy kind of, not try before you buy, but like a half-in kind of scenario to see how it goes, because it's a lot of money. It's half our budget. And if we felt that it brought a lot of value to the table, then we'd give her the full amount next year if she applied again. Right.
Was that a verbal agreement or was it a lock? And can you make those kinds of promises?
There was a verbal during our vote. Correct, though. You're correct on that statement. There was a verbal during our vote last year, so it was
Oh,
not
this
a.
was among the.
This is the
Amongst the
voting.
council
So like we're
members.
doing
So you
last.
didn't tell Katie, hey, if it works, you get more money.
No,
Okay.
Okay.
no. So we're going to fund you too, and
Good catch. No,
yeah.
it's a good catch.
But it was recorded as well. So if she wanted to watch the meeting, she would have found out that, hey,
Yep.
you know, our feelings on the matter. So the argument becomes, to your point, it is a lot of money. It's half our budget, and actually it's more this year, which is my other point to this discussion. Last year she asked for. So the price did go up. I did make note on my notes here when I was doing my research. The price did go up. We gave her $1,200. She asked for $2,400. From memory, she cited it would be $600 per concert for concert. That was in the grant from application from last year.
Okay.
She is asking for $3,000. So there's really two arguments here. I apologize for blending them together, and maybe we need to do one at a time.
Well,
Is she still asking for 4, I guess is the question.
She's asking for 5.
She's asking for 5. Okay,
There's
so the
5 concerts, there's
3,000
600.
accounts for the 5, not 4. So she's still basing it off of the 600 per concert. Now I did verbally talk with her about this summer's, and she funded 3 of them with 600. No, 400. Sorry, and then she did something with the 4th one. I don't remember her comment on that. So she was able to get 4 in, even though we only funded her for 2. So she made it work. She took what we gave her and she stretched it to what her goal was.
Well, I don't think, I mean, I think
I guess
we should proceed, but I don't think we should proceed with the 3,000. Like,
So-
I would not say
Correct.
no.
So the
I
argument
would say
is-
hold. I would say proceed with an adjustment.
Right. Do we fund, so the argument is, if we see value, do we want to fund for 5? Or do the same thing last year of,
Well, I
you
thought
know,
we weren't talking numbers yet.
well, the number of concerts, not dollar amounts.
that's not what she's.
Okay,
wait, yeah,
sorry.
it is. So 1, 2. Oh, you're right. She very specifically calls out $600 per show.
Correct. So the question becomes, do we feel, I personally would like to see her again with the summer concerts. I'd like to fund this application. Just get it on the table. Now the question for me is, what does that look like, right? Is it half, full, 4 out of 5, right?
How well attended were they?
I attended 2 of them. I would say probably 100 folks.
Oh,
She had food trucks. Not Giacomo, the other pronunciation for it there.
Giacomo.
Giacomo.
So he was there, wife, family, great venue, great food. Henry the Juggler had also participated. We actually funded him last year as well. A venue was not finalized until much later, when the start of the summer started, in terms of which one he would do. He actually showed up for more than one. So, and I don't know the conversation between him and Katie, but that was a pretty cool turnout. He showed up multiple times, he exceeded, what we were expecting.
I wanted to go. We were unable to go. Every single one of them.
Well, that's part of the argument. If you fund 4, instead of 2, right, you now have 4 chances to get to it. But to your point, also being a family with 3 children, it's very hard, especially in the summertime, to nail down even just one event, right? I think one of them, Morgan and I had gone by ourselves. The other one, we dragged the children along. I'm sorry, that's my humor there. So, go ahead.
I agree with moving forward, but not for the full amount. That takes too much out of the budget right off the.
now are we allowed to speculate of other income sources or just talk about what is on the application?
So there is an item in here. I'm actually going to jump over to her application, if I can figure out how this app works.
Yeah, she does state that there are no other sources of it.
Oh, it does state
It
that.
is a free. It is a free concert, right?
Yeah,
Understand
but
that.
So
Right.
there's actually 2 bits of information on the application. There's what the operational cost is versus what they're asking for. And if the dollar amount's the same, and they've explicitly said, there's no other sources of funds. So if the dollar amounts are different and there's no expected additional sources of income, now we have to go back and ask her, well, where's this money where's your differential, right?
Yeah, where's the extra?
But if she explicitly says that there's no other sources of income and the dollar amount's the same, then, it's a 100%, match. Sorry if I made that convoluted sounding. Let me find it here. In my personal opinion, I think doing 4 this year, doubling what she was asking from last year. Well, she asked for 4 last year, we didn't give it to her. Personally, I think giving her the 4 this year would be acceptable for me, but again, that's just my one vote.
So that'd be 2,400 you'd want to.
Right, so
I mean, she's
that's-
saying bands range from 400 to 600, and she'll take as much money as she can get.
Yeah, so that's a third of our budget if we do Ford.
Yep, and that was the argument last year is, well, a third of our budget. Poof, right?
Well, instead of, I mean, can we just say,
We could also go back down to 2 again, like we did last year, because that was, she said she also told me verbally she'll take whatever she can get, right?
well, that's what she
And
says
she
here.
will,
So.
Right.
we funded her 2 and she got 4. She made 4 work, so as you know, she's very resourceful and,
Well, what if we funded her 3 at 500? Because she's saying her thing, she put in 600 for a budget, but she said bands range from 400 to 600.
well, she
You're reading
made,
my
she,
mind.
she,
I
she
was
came
just
up with
gonna
the
say
dollar.
same thing.
No, she came up with a dollar amount because, on her own, outside of her application. So we funded her for 2, 600 each. She came back, verbally and said, hey, well, I made this work, with only 2, right? And I was able to cut the cost, trim a little bit off the top for at least one of them, right? Or for all 3 to get the third one in, right?
Rather than specify how many concerts we're funding, why don't we simply offer a dollar amount
That's
and
what
then
I'm
she does whatever
Yep.
she's going to
Yep.
do with it?
That's an
So
argument as well.
I would advocate make 1,500 then.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, which dollar?
1,500,
1,500? Okay.
and that can potentially get her.
Instead of
3.
instead of
You gave
doing
her
a
half.
measurable amount per event, we just give her and let her
Figure it out.
figure it
Because
out.
someone might be 650, she might get someone for 450.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let her, I would,
Maybe
Yeah,
we
so that
you
we're
gave
going-
her half last year. Do the same this year, but we're giving her a larger amount. I think that's.
Yeah, we gave her 1,200 last
think
year.
that's-
We
I
can
think
give her
that's fair.
1,500 a raise. That'll be one more. So she paid 400 this year for each one that she paid that she paid out. That would be a $100 raise for the 3 if she does it again, and then right. Okay, so
if she still has that other band that we just put on hold. So,
exactly.
No, could we combine that?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
Why are we here?
So
So
we can point them in the right direction.
No, I just figured if
I guess we'd have to fund
if
them.
we
though.
ended up approving that one, could the money go to Katie as long as that person was one of the concerts that she? No. Okay.
No.
yeah. So the other thing to be aware of, the official MCC rules say that you're not supposed to deny somebody based off of our budget. So that's why I keep saying let's bump it down, hold it lower priority, and let it fall out. Because technically you can't deny somebody their application
Simply because of how
because
much they asked
we didn't.
But if someone had the perfect application, they were asking for $6,980.10, and it hit all the high notes.
Local policy says that. So we can choose, we can prioritize based off of that. Their application is better written than someone else's. We can definitely, actually, they might say it in the state too. Yeah, you can definitely do that. We just can't reject based off of our budget. But you can definitely move stuff around based on how things are written. Right.
Okay.
So, I will second the $1,500. Do we have a third? All right.
I will.
You
Oh, I
good?
already said yes.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, then you have a
Alright.
fourth.
We should
So-
celebrate with some of the coffee you brought.
It's in a thermal too, so it's
Okay.
still warm. You want to call a quick recess to get it, or?
Oh, I was going to bring it over here.
Oh, if
so
you
we
want,
can
yeah,
have
go
a
for it.
working meeting.
Yep. You can always walk over and hit the pause button on that thing. of the cups in there as well in the Ziploc bag.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, look at this. They're so thoughtful.
Yeah, so the cups are in there. Yep, that's the creamer.
Yep. Holy cow, look at this.
I'm gonna call a recess. We'll be back in 5
They're
minutes.
relying completely on the grant. But the veterans could do with a reduced amount.
So if we got rid of David Malouf,
If we gave,
$250 to West African, and
and then the remainder to
To build the flags.
Yeah.
like
So
260.
250 for drummers and the
And remainder to flag building.
you said it was 516, correct?
512.
512. Thank you.
So it'd be 262.
Sorry,
Would be $262.
262 to the flag folks. 250. Oh, 10 cents. We're gonna do the 10 cents to the 262.
There you go. There you go. That makes me feel a little better. All right.
Nice.
Oh, can't you just
My
take
flag
that off
building
of
took a
your
little bit of a hit, but it got a little
expenses?
better.
I'm rooting for you, man. I want to get
That's
that
a little,
zero
like,
on the
it
end
just
there.
goes a little like dingy. So
So that's it.
For the record, we have 10 cents floating in our account that we're trying to
I would say
that no expense receipt will cover.
pick up that extra gumball if you're at like
Exactly.
Staples, you know.
We did it in a single night.
So what we need to do next is go down the list of the hard yeses for the the final list, and I'm gonna check off on my list every single one of those as well. We should probably do the same on each of our sheets, and then do a confirmation of that list a second time, and we're done.
Well, I think we should go through we'll do it the first time and then add it all up again. Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yeah, you put the money into that process as well, but I would recommend going through two more times. The second time would be a confirmation,
Okay.
and then call it a day.
Make a little mark next to it, and then we'll fill in the
Actually,
I don't need to fill in
things
the
out.
awarded amounts, right? You guys are doing that. All right, Fresh Street. So 64173.
That was a yes.
Yes.
And we're going to award 262 and 10 cents.
I'm just gonna write yes or no's in this. I'm not gonna bother writing in the
I'm gonna
dollar
write down the
amount since
numbers
you're-
on mine here.
since you're-
All right.
You got that.
So the next hard yes was Songs of Yesteryear, 68731
Yep.
at 150.
Agreed.
The next one is 66093 Magical Powders
Powders
Wheel
Wheel.
at 375.
Yes, please.
Gosh, the next one is 67850. I'm going blurry here. 550.
The Beat Generation.
I'm sorry.
That's the Beat Generation.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you. Next one is 63790 at 525.
Have to put that on my calendar. That does look cool.
Go back again. This is the candlelight, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm hitting the wall here too. Next hard yes is 65650 at 345. Next one is 70128 at 250. And then the next one after that is 70328 at 300. And then 70428 at 75.
Okay.
59970 Henry Lapham, the juggler, at 450. We're going to stay at that amount. We made it work, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we made it work with the full amount.
All right.
Yeah.
58752 648.
That's very specific.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it.
All right.
Be straight up with us.
All right. Next page.
We've got the West African drumming.
Yeah, 16.
Thank you. Thank you. Next one is 60888, 500.
Do you want to state the number of the African drumming and the amount?
Yes, sorry, the African drummer is 62134 at 250. The next one is 60888, that's Children's Parade at 500. 64681, Summer Concert Series at 1500. 64109, Uniquely Quabbin Magazine at 250. Uh, 60539, Reading is Magic at 450. 62465, that's the Wingen and Wins 2024 at 100. And that is our list.
Okay.
Crunch the numbers.
Can I just, hate to, I know I'm going to be super annoying here. Is it possible to reduce Greg Maycheck so we can put more money towards the flags?
Absolutely.
Like, take him down to maybe 500 and put the other 148 towards the flags?
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't know what people think about that.
We
What
only,
was his stipulation?
we only
Finance
half funded him
Committee?
last year. But, that was because we were under a budget, similar situation.
Oh, you won't hear an
I would
argument from me on that.
I would second that.
Yeah, third for sure.
Okay. So
Reducing.
you're reducing Maycheck to 500?
I'm just proposing it.
Yeah,
So-
in fact, he states,
It's
partial's okay, but please consider around 435.
So if we do 500, that's
There
being respectful.
is, there we go. So 500 you said?
Stay 500, and then that gives us 148
To add to the 512, so that.
to add to
To
the
add to the
262.
262 rather.
Which brings it to what?
262 plus 148 equals 410.
410.
That just feels a little bit
And
better.
10 cents.
And 10 cents.
And 10 cents, right.
All right.
They're gonna look at that, scratch their beards.
Do we need to do
These
one more?
guys nickel and
Yeah, one
dime
more
us
run.
like this?
One more run just to verify. And
Can someone read me the numbers?
Yes.
Knowing that I might screw it up, so.
yeah, someone else could read for me, please.
I'll read them.
Okay.
You ready?
Mhm.
410.10.
Okay, which is 410.
No, it's 410 and 10 cents.
Gotcha. Okay, 410. Sorry, hit the enter. Okay, 410. Okay,
Okay, we'll add the 10 cents on later.
yes.
150.
Okay,
375.
okay,
550.
okay,
525.
okay,
345.
okay,
250.
okay,
300.
okay,
75.
okay,
450.
okay,
500.
okay,
250.
okay,
500.
okay,
1500.
okay,
250.
okay,
450.
okay.
100.
69.80
69.80 and 10 cents.
and 10 cents.
Yes.
All right.
Sweet.
Boom.
Nice work, all.
Do you have everything you need to proceed, or do we proceed as a group to issue the letters?
Well, I can do it. I did it last year. I can do it again. If anybody would like to volunteer, I'm not going to object. Otherwise, it's this is our last meeting for the year. And what I will do is I will send out emails. If I'm going to be the one to do it, I'll send out emails when it happens. And I would always appreciate somebody following up to make sure that I've done my job. The Massachusetts rep Hanaka will also be following up with us to make sure that we're on point as well with the deadlines.
So is this something, I would like to help.
Yep.
Is this something that we do side by side in an office someplace, or just individually on our own and then?
You can do it
Same
in the
day?
office, remote, with a Google Meet if you want. We can do it individually. It's basically into the portal. Actually, no, I don't want to go there. It's a little complicated in terms of the UI parts of it. But it's going into the portal, checking the ones we want to deny. You know, it will then generate to a deny list down at the bottom. And then to finalize that, you go in and you click a button for that list, and it will, off it goes.
Since you've been taking notes on the denial, wouldn't it make more sense for me to take the yeses and you to take the nos?
If you want. I'll make sure that the Word templates are up there. And pretty much it's an export off of the list into Excel, and then you mill merge through Excel into the doc template.
Okay,
And then the
so-
email addresses are on, so part of the export is to export the email address.
So we had a date here, December 16th is the deadline, so that's a Saturday.
So which deadline?
I have December 16th is the deadline for sending acceptance notifications. That's what you said
I think
at
that's
the beginning.
January 16th,
No,
isn't it?
no, January 16th, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yay!
Yep. The end of the year is the rejections, and that, we don't have to go over that process now. That can be done offline. It doesn't have to be done in front of a camera in open forum. Or, excuse me, not open forum, open meeting. As long as we're clear on who's going to do what, we are done.
Okay.
Okay. So you're doing denials.
I'll do denials.
You're doing acceptances.
And you and I can get together. We can go over together if you want the process for the acceptance if you want.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at my calendar because I get 2 weeks off at the end of the year because I'm a wicked slacker.
Same.
Yay.
Yeah. Last 2 weeks are the best 2 weeks.
You guys are so lucky.
Yeah, we are.
Jonathan, what do we need to do about the 2 people who have not submitted their reimbursements yet?
We need to chase them. If they don't submit, then it
When they have to
becomes
submit by the 31st of December?
December 2nd is the deadline for that.
Or that already passed?
Sorry. No, sorry, January 2nd.
January 2nd? Okay.
We're getting
My
close.
This
man!
guy's killing us.
My man, what is up with you?
When we're off with the camera, I'll tell you what's going on. So January 2nd's the deadline for that. And then if we don't reimburse them, the money rolls over.
Okay.
And unfortunately,
say-
they have performed and they will not get
Yeah.
paid.
So January 2nd is, we have to receive it in hand, or it has to be to the tax accountant, or it has to have cleared the books.
We will have to have processed the paperwork by January 2nd.
Okay, so I just have to get it over to Kelly and Mary.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just say,
It's
we need
it's a policy. It's not a hard mechanical thing.
Okay.
So as long as we stamp that form with our date when we receive it and sign it, then
Okay.
yeah,
So as long as it's signed by us.
yeah. The effective
Okay.
date is the day that we stamp it and sign it.
Okay. And when you say stamp, you're just,
Well,
just
typically
mean signature?
with signature with a date, right? Whatever that. Yeah.
just wanted to make sure there wasn't a stamp.
With the
I
old
was supposed to know.
facsimile stamp it right with the red.
Okay.
It's a special stamp in the filing
Exactly.
cabinet
Okay, just
back
wanted to make
there.
sure there wasn't something I didn't know. So, it's like I haven't been stamping anything, so.
So, denials, acceptance. You and I will watch for those 2 reimbursements, and I think we are done.
Okay, so I can commit to doing this in the week of the 18th so that it will be done before Christmas.
December 18th.
Yes.
We can talk after the meeting if you want to do this. We don't have to do it because I know that you need to run, right?
Okay, I'm even going to put it in my calendar so I
Hour and a
remembered
half
we
ago.
had this conversation.
Can, I'm sorry. I thought the rejections had to come back before we could do acceptances.
Correct. The rejections, 2 weeks, and then acceptance. Acceptance are due by the 16th of January.
Okay. But
And the
we
rejections
can't
are
do
due by
them
January.
before.
We can.
Oh, so you can do acceptances before
Yeah.
people who've
When we
rejected
are
have a
done
chance
voting,
to respond?
when we are done voting, we can do the rejections, but we have to put 2 weeks after the rejections for them to be able to respond.
But you can send acceptances out beforehand.
Correct. Yeah.
So if they gave a compelling argument, as to why they should be funded, or we've already sent out
Exactly.
acceptances.
We have to give them 2 weeks, but beyond that, it's, you know, it's at our timeline. I like to go right up to the end, just for those, if there's ever an edge case we have to, you know, meet with.
Well, that's
and-
what I'm saying, is should
Yeah.
acceptances go out and before that 2-week time period is done? Because what if they come back with a compelling argument and we reconsider, then we might have to reconsider acceptances.
That's why the acceptance go
So,
on afterwards.
Then let me,
So I guess what
let's rephrase this. So I will, not being familiar with the process, tell me if I'm speaking correctly, but I can set it up for the accepted applicants to go out. I can queue that all up,
Yes.
but do nothing to send it out.
You cannot send anything until, so there are two run books. There's a run book for the denials and there's a run book for the acceptances. You cannot finalize that run book for the acceptances until the deadline.
Okay, which I think is where I got confused, because you said you were going to do it on the
Yeah.
18th of
Okay,
December.
so let me
So-
I'll read my notes back. Jonathan will notify rejected applicants. Laura will complete paperwork for accepted applicants.
Yep.
We'll do it the week of December 18th, but not send them out.
So, for instance, if somebody comes back with an argument that, hey, I should be allowed, and it's a valid argument, we meet again, and we have to reallocate those
Right.
acceptances, we need, you know.
Yep. Yeah, I just understand. I just wanted to.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
way the timing got screwed up for me, because it sounded like we were sending rejections out, and then a week later we're sending out acceptances.
No,
and
no,
then I was like,
if
well,
I said the wrong month,
so-
I'm sorry.
So I was just confused.
So, you know me, I'm pretty clever with this kind of thing. Do you think the instructions on the MCC website are going to be enough to walk me through the process of doing this?
There are no instructions for the mail merge type of thing. It's you export to an Excel sheet and you do the mail merge yourself. It's up to us to decide how to deliver the acceptance letters. In the old days, way before I was around, they used to do snail mail with it. I think 10 years ago they switched over to electronic with email.
But everything I need is on this, no.
Yeah, you can get, so you don't have the Word docs yet, the template. I need to get that to you if you don't have it. If it's not on the Google Drive, I'll get that to you.
Okay.
But you can export the information you need to get the letters generated.
But I see the original export on the application list 2024, looks like it has the details I need.
Yes. Yeah, everything you can get off the portal to do the
All
mail
right, so
merge.
first name, last name.
Yeah, but there's no state instructions on
No.
how to do that.
Oh, I know
It's-
how to do a mail merge.
Yeah, you gotta be tech savvy to do it.
I'm
All
wicked
right.
smart. Okay.
Smart. Like a Bostonian.
Yeah.
We don't have a script to do it yet.
All right, so we're good?
Yep.
All right, I call this meeting finished. We finished our voting. It is now 9:25.